Welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show. And in today's episode, I'm going to be telling you why the Colts general manager, Chris Ballard, is probably the best, if not the best, one of the best general managers in the National Football League. He has an amazing track record in the draft. He has signed some pretty good free agents, traded for some really good players. Chris Ballard really knows how to build a team. From this team in 2017, there's only one player left from that time, and that player is Jack Doyle. He is the only player left from that time, and look at the difference. Look at the roster he has put together. He has put together a star-studded roster, one of the better teams in the National Football League. Dude knows how to draft. The dude knows how to use his picks. He knows where to trade them, when to trade them. He knows who to sign for free agency. He gets all the bargain deals. Maybe not the flashy guy, maybe not the flashy general manager, maybe not the flashy way to rebuild, but the way to rebuild to become a dynasty within the next 10 years. Chris Ballard knows how to do that. And he's shown it. He's drafted some of the best players in the last few years. Some extremely solid players, and has also traded for some really solid players. You go from Quentin Nelson to Nyheim Hines on offense, and you go to Darius Leonard to Curry Willis on offense. All very solid starters. In the 2017 draft, you started with Malik, which was his first pick. Not a good first impression, but other than that, in the 2017 draft, he hit home on a great running back in Marlon Mack, on a developmental defensive tackle, but now an amazing defensive tackle in Grover Stewart and Anthony Walker. Another great. I mean, not he wasn't great. He was an extremely solid run blocker, but extremely solid guy. He got the job done. And then you go to the next year's draft. This is where things really, really pick up. You have Quentin Nelson, Darius Leonard, Braden Smith, Nyheim Hines, Jordan Wilkins are all solid guys. Quentin Nelson, Leonard, cornerstone players. Quentin Nelson, 3 All-Pros in his first 3 seasons. One of the best guards in the National Football League. Don't at me. He's probably the best right now, and will be for a while if he doesn't run into injury issues. And then you go to Darius Leonard, the worst. When the Colts first made this pick, they said this was the worst pick in the draft. The worst pick in the draft. And he's now one of the best linebackers in the National Football League. It shows you Chris Ballard doesn't care what anyone else thinks. He doesn't care if someone else doesn't like that pick. He doesn't care. If he likes that player, he's going to take them. He's not going to just going to take any old player. He's not just going to take him because, wow, everyone likes him. The media likes him. The media loves him. They're going to take him because he's the right guy at the right spot. And Chris Ballard has this thing where he holds a value for every single player, and he doesn't exceed that, and he will not exceed that. His stubbornness is great. It's awesome because you don't overpay, and we don't get into cap hell like many other teams, like teams like the Cowboys. They pay good players great player money, like the Saints. They paid way too many big contracts to good players. There's plenty of teams that give out contracts like it's nothing, like it's not a big deal. But then later on down the line, they feel it, like the Saints, like the Eagles. Many teams feel it, and the Titans were feeling it last year too. Chris Ballard likes to he likes to keep his own guys. He likes to keep his homegrown guys, and some people may not like Ballard because he's too conservative. I like him because you know what? Rome wasn't built overnight, and a dynasty isn't built in one season overnight. A dynasty is built through many, many, many great drafts, many solid drafts, and then retaining your guys, not going out there and paying millions and millions to other guys, other homegrown talents. There's nothing wrong with that, bringing in a guy that could do you good. But at the same time, you need your own homegrown talent, and you need your own talent and those cheap deals, ultimately. But then, like if you look at teams like, the Rams, for example, they went all out that one year, and they really went to the Super Bowl, and they really went all out and were amazing. But the following year, they struggled a little bit because they were in cap hell because they signed all those players. And did they fall into a dynasty? No, they were good for one year. But now they're getting better again. But, plenty of teams out there that they go all out in one year, and then, it usually doesn't even pan out when you sign a bunch of free agents like that. Um, Usually doesn't. So if you keep your own guys and draft your own great players and, keep it at that, you're going to get places. But if you go out there spending, trading first round picks for good players, you're not going to get very far, and then you go to the 19 draft, it falls off a little bit from the 18 draft, but the 18 draft was so good, it's going to fall off. There's no way you're going to get better than the 18 draft. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe, but at the same time, 18 draft was godly. Godly. And then you had Braden Smith and Hines, two more really solid guys. Braden Smith, one of the most underrated tackles in the league, one of the best tackles in the league. I'm pretty sure he didn't allow one sack last season. Maybe it was one, but he really didn't. I really don't think he did. And then go on 19 draft, Reich. He struggled, but he has so much talent. Reich has just struggled to really keep himself on the field and to stay consistent, but he still got a learning curve to be made, and corner is not an easy position to transition from college to the NFL level. So, and then you have Campbell, another awesome talent, but his problem too is he can't stay on the field either. He can't stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, man, this is an amazing weapon. He's a speed burner. He's a rack monster, run after the catch monster. And then you have Corey Willis, an extremely solid, strong safety. He's not scared to come down and make those tackles. He's not scared to. He will come down and make those tackles. And Marvell Tell, he did opt out last year, but his rookie season, he showed a lot of promise. He showed a lot of freaking promise. And then you go to the 2020 draft, another amazing draft. You have Michael Pittman, you have Jonathan Taylor, you have Julian Blackmon. All great guys that made a big difference on this team. Without Jonathan Taylor, without Julian Blackmon, where's the team at last year? We seen it when Jonathan Taylor was out because of the situation that we all know was bad against the Titans. We all saw how bad it was. And, when Michael Pittman was out for a little while, where was the offense? There was no real weapon. T.Y. Hilton, beginning of the season when Pittman was out, T.Y. Hilton was basically non-existent. As much as I hate to say, he wasn't playing well. He was not, and we all know that. And then Julian Blackmon. Malik Hooker goes down, and Blackmon comes in and plays like a monster. A really good rookie. All three really solid rookies have made big contributions. Look at Pittman in the playoff game. Look at Pittman in the games that mattered most. The brighter the light, the brighter the light, the brighter he shines. The bigger the game, the better he plays. And we've seen in all of the most important games last season, versus the Titans, versus the Packers, versus the Bills, the three most important games. And Pittman played his best ball in those three games. And then Julian Blackmon, he had two game stealing interceptions. And Jonathan Taylor, he sealed a playoff spot in the fourth quarter against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then Rodrigo Blankenship, he was undrafted, who kicked the game-winning field goal against the Green Bay Packers. Danny Pinter, who came in for when we had slide people around. He was a really solid backup center. Man, I'm telling you, if Chris Ballard keeps drafting like this, if he keeps having these awesome, man, this roster is awesome. There are two big needs right now: an edge rusher and left tackle. But I believe Chris Ballard will find a way. He always does. He never lets his Colts fans down. You know, and then the one year during the pandemic when there was really no workouts, no way to tell anything. What did Chris Ballard do with the first round pick when all the players were unknown? He went out there and traded the first round pick for one of the best defensive tackles in the league. A guy that was known. A guy that they didn't have to take a chance on. They did have to pay him, yeah. But a guy they didn't have to take a chance on because they already knew that he was one of the better defensive tackles in the league. So he took a great risk. Now, the Carson Wentz, I mean, of course, yeah, that was with the Forest Buck. I didn't say his name, but man. And we've seen the difference that the Forest Buckner made on our defense. He not only improved the defensive line, him and Grove, they also improved the rest of the defense. They helped the rest of the defense go. The linebackers. They helped Darius Leonard play more freely. Bobby Okereke will play more freely. The corners. Makes it easier on the corners. The safeties. And then we have Kenny Moore, the undrafted guy. I mean, Bobby Okereke in the third round. Julian Blackmon, our first round talent in the third round. What else do you want? I get you want to go out and sign those big free agents and those big names. I get it. We all want that. We all do. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want that big name free agent in Carl Lawson, maybe Yannick Ngakoue, maybe one of those guys. Maybe pay $15 million a year for Trey Hendrickson? No. No. You gotta build from the inside out. If you don't have a strong foundation, you can't put up strong walls. You can't put beautiful furniture inside. You need all the dirty work first. And Ballard's got that done. And now he's got to get a tackle and an edge, maybe a corner for the future. And if Carson Wentz pans out, look out. Look out. Thank you guys for watching this. This is JDW Sports Talk Show. And if you enjoyed, I'd greatly appreciate it if you hit that like button, if you hit that subscribe button, and you share it with your friends, or let me know what you think. Let me know down in the comment section. Do you think Chris Ballard is the best general manager in the NFL? Let me know. And I thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you later.